Alright, people. Um, this is actually gonna be in my house, but y'all are not seeing the inside of the house. So this is how this is gonna go. This is putting all black here, and there's gonna be a lot of until I get used to this. I've come to the conclusion that I say a lot. So if you're looking for a really crisp, this is my second vlog, man. So it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of pauses. I know what it means, but that's what it is. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm doing my intro vlog now. I'm in my house. And it is 9:45, and I'm rolling around my house. Why am I rolling around my house? Well, obviously, as you saw by the first picture, with the from the first video, Bill Simmons video, for those of you that watched this more than once, and did watch my first video, and the one that you're seeing now. I don't really know what picture that I'm going to put up here. I am in a wheelchair, part-time wheelchair user, part-time walker user, and it's easier for me to get around my house in my chair. And I'm going to eat something. I'm making something to eat here. So, I was born with CP. I have, I guess, spastic diplegia. Everybody that has CP, mild form of CP, has spastic diplegia. I think I have what is it, mixed version of CP, which is, if you study like CP, and I was really big at studying cerebral palsy when I was like a teenager, when in a young adult, and when I say young adult, I mean like 21, something like that. I was really big at studying it, and we'll try to find out what it's about. And you find out that pretty much that doctors don't diagnose you as having mixed CP. They always do the spastic whatever. So, but I think because, of my situation, I think I have a mixed form of CP, and I think I have a little bit of everything, which is fine. But so we're getting the plate out. So I think I have a real basic form of CP. Not basic, but I have a mild to moderate form of CP. I can walk with a walker. I use a chair. I don't want to go electric. It's been brought to my attention that I should go electric. I choose not to, but I have my own reasons for that I'll get into in another video. So basically, what this is going to be is going to be a video vlog about the disabled experience, and specifically the disabled experience as it pertains to an African American male in his early 30s. So basically, there are two YouTube pages, because I look at a lot of not a lot of videos. I look at a lot of articles. I look at a lot of Facebook pages dealing with disability rights. I'm not talking about like advocacy, like government advocacy groups. I'm talking about like disability rights and like papers and stuff, like articles and stuff, and vloggers and everything. So everybody has their own. Everybody seems like with the disability community, especially with the CP kids or the CP people, there's like a underground movement, so to speak, with that, and as far as getting their voice out there, and as far as doing their own thing. So I feel like I can get my voice out there, really, and there's two Facebook pages that I really want people, and I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna put it on main Facebook pages. It's called Able Pathways, and and the other one is called Disability Chronicles. And Disability Chronicles is managed by my buddy Andy and his wife. So it used to be called GIMP News, but he had to change the name. I understand why he changed the name, but dude, it was hilarious. I understand the reason why he had it originally as GIMP News, because we say GIMP a lot in the community, but he probably aggravated some people or somebody got offended, so whatever. So I'm gonna use a lot of their articles that they post. Able Pathways. It used to be Disabled Radio. Now it's Able Pathways. And there's something else. There's like 3 incarnations of Disabled Radio, Able Pathways. I think the third one is what is it called? Road to Independence. There it is. So there's 3 incarnations of this, and I'm gonna be using a lot of their stuff. I'm gonna be commenting on some of their stuff, and instead of writing, responses, my response will be here. My response will go in a different direction. Also, as a black man with a disability, like, I've experienced some stuff, and it's not necessarily having to do with race. I just don't think the fact that I'm black with CP matters. So, and a lot of it doesn't even have anything to do with race. It just might be purely disability stuff, like, and just me being out there in the world. So that's why I started the blog. Like, I'm gonna go and just talk about my experiences and the stuff that I read and the stuff that, like, we go through, white, black, whatever. I think the disabled community, for the most part, unless you're doing something awesome, nobody really, it's really not a big deal. Like for a perfect example, like, okay, we had a situation with, like, the DART paratransit thing here. And we had a thing where the DART paratransit thing here, like, it had about 2,500 complaints, right? So basically, and I might do something on that separately, but basically, like, nobody really paid it any attention until it got the news, until it got the attention of the Dallas Morning News. And then people started paying attention to it. And then, so I think, from what I heard, somebody resigned, and it was like a big deal. But it really took like an able-bodied white guy to bring it to attention. But people have been saying bad things about paratransit at least for the past 2 years, when they had this new company or whatever that happened. Matter of fact, I was there, even though I don't have an issue with paratransit because I rarely use it. I have to use it now because of the job, and my experience has been sort of decent. I did have an issue with a driver, though, that I'm gonna get into, like, in another blog, because the issue that I had with her brings up a larger point with the disability community. But I don't think anybody tells our story, our way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never really, I don't know. It just seems, it seems like it seems like the only way we can tell our story is through the internet. So I guess this is my page in the book, so to speak, of disability rights and disability theorist or whatever. And I'm not a disability theorist or whatever. I'm not, like, I have a degree. I have an interdisciplinary studies degree. One of my focuses was sociology, but I'm not a sociologist. so to speak, but I did study it a little bit, and me being disabled, I do know some of the theories, and I might go into some disability theorism. Like I have friends that are better at it than me, but anyway, that's what this is going to be about. This is going to be about this disability experience, and coming from my perspective as a 32-year-old, almost 33-year-old black person. Um, I did the Bill Simmons joint, even though it has nothing to do with what this blog is going to be about. I did the Bill Simmons joint basically because I'm a sports fan, and there are going to be situations where I'm going to talk about sports. And I'm gonna talk about sports, and I'm gonna talk about like sports broadcasters, because I wanted to be one at some point in life, but due to circumstances beyond my control, I wasn't able to pursue it, so I'm doing this as to scratch the itch, so to speak. Why did I choose Pushing While Black? Basically, I chose Pushing While Black because I worked at a call center in one of the suburbs of Dallas, Texas, which is where I live currently. Okay, so basically, I catch the fixture out bus 90% of where I go. By the way, this vlog, even though it's in my house, this right now, I want to try to do a lot of the personal things, a lot of personal vlogs that I have. I want to try to do them as I'm running errands or as I'm pushing, because there's a story. Because some of the stuff happens, a lot of the stuff happens in my life when I'm out in the world, and this is basically the reason that I came up with the name, and I'm gonna go into it now. I used to work for the federal government. I got let go, and I took a job in a collection agency, basically, because I needed the gig, right? So when I've been looking for a job, couldn't find it. So I got this job in a collection agency. I think I was working for I think they got a Time Warner cable account or something like that. So I'm going to work. It's the last day. It's Friday. It's the last day of training. So I'm pushing to work, and there's a 2-block push from the fixed route bus to where I needed to go, and it's downhill. So part of it is downhill, part of it is kind of uphill. So I'm pushing and I'm doing my thing like I always do. Now this is in I think May of this year. So this is May of this year. So I'm pushing, I'm doing my thing, and this cop pulls up behind me, and he doesn't put on his siren. He doesn't put on his sirens, but the lights are flashing, right? So mind you, it's 9:15 in the morning, because my shift started at 10. I was still in training, so I had to do the 10 to 5 schedule. So I turn around, and I'm like, why is this dude behind me? He goes, "Are you okay?" from his car. And I go, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I stop, because I'm like, okay, because he's out of his car now. He gets out of his car. He gets out of his car, and he stops me, and he proceeds to ask me the normal, Negro, why aren't you in your neighborhood type of question. What are you doing here? Where are you going? I've never seen you before. What else he say? Where are you going? What are you doing? You going to work? I've never seen you here before. What's going on? This went on for a good 5 minutes, and I didn't really cause I figured this was not a I'm gonna help you call. It's not like I'm gonna help you deal, cause I've seen cops pull up beside me as I'm pushing, and they ask, is everything okay? Is everything fine? And I say, yeah, and they keep going. This was weird because he got out of his car, he talked to me for about a good 5 minutes. He searched he didn't search me, but he kind of inspected my chair, and he made sure he never pulled out the gun or the stun gun, but he made sure I saw both of them. So, like, I remember one of my friends telling me, like, man, you should have went crazy and maybe you could have been on CNN. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to be the crippled Trayvon Martin, bro. Like, and this is a cop, man. Like, I'm not really trying to, no. And this is training. My last day of training this was today. The last thing I needed to do was call my supervisor talking about I'm in jail. See what I'm saying? So, I took it real cool, and he let me go. Like, he let me go, he drove away, and I went to work. I told my supervisor, and I told, like, a lot of my coworkers what happened. And a lot of them laughed. Like, a lot of them was like, what are you going to do? And that goes into, like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about in this YouTube channel where, like, the whole what are you going to do thing, I can go way deeper here, but I'm not going to. In that regard, that's another blog for another day. There's going to be a lot of another blog for another day moments when I do these. So there's going to be webs of what's going on. So then I told my supervisor. She said, well, you know where you are. It happens. And then the funny thing was, and why this thing became so wonderfully funny, was I put on my Facebook page. Apparently, the Carrollton Police, that's the suburb of where I was working. Apparently, the Carrollton PD considers me suspicious because I was wearing my hat backwards. I had a book bag on, and I was wearing like jeans and a polo shirt because it's casual Friday. It's Friday. It's casual Friday. I'm not wearing slacks to work, right? So I wrote, apparently, Carrollton Police thinks I'm suspicious. Apparently, the Carrollton Police thinks I'm suspicious. One of them stopped me. One of them stopped me and questioned me for 5 minutes, pushing while black ain't a crime. So, and they got a couple of my black friends, they laughed. A couple of my family members got upset. One of my family members got upset. One of my white friends got upset, for me. And I laughed it off because it was like, and I don't want to say it made me feel normal because it's jacked up that black men have to be accosted by the police. That's part of their life. But it did make me feel a little bit, okay, at least I know I'm still black first. I'm a black man first. So a lot of the discrimination that I faced was because of the fact that I have cerebral palsy. And it's nice to know every once in a while that, hey, you're still a Negro. So, that's why I came up with the name. So it's actually, to me, I found it funny. I know how to stay calm in situations like that. He didn't touch me physically. And oh, by the way, I couldn't really go really ham like some people wanted me to when they found out about the situation, because he happened to pull up in a Chevy Blazer, meaning he can fit my chair and me in it. So if I acted a nut, I'm going to jail, and I wasn't trying to go to jail in Carrollton. So anyway, but yeah, that's the inspiration by the name. Anyway, I don't really know what to say after that. This is the intro. It wasn't really moving around like I wanted to do. Cause, I'm gonna give you some influences that I have. I wanted to do the blog while I'm moving, even though I'm not moving right now. Some of these blogs, if I can get the recording to be right, some of these blogs I'm going to do outside while I'm running errands, especially now that it's still warm and it's not, terribly cold in the mornings. Like, I'm going to try to do it as I'm going to work or as I'm running errands in the weekends and stuff. Because basically, I stole that idea from SWP Disciple. Like I'm not, you know, not literally stealing from him, but like he know like a lot of a lot of YouTube bloggers don't want to show their face, right? So we have people that they mount their phone on their car, they have a camera, and they film while they drive. They think about stuff. They do their vlogs while they drive. Disciple, he started the disciple he started putting he started walking. Like he went a couple of his videos. He went out for walks and he walked like around while he vlogged. A lot of times he'll do stuff in his car. So I like the videos where he's driving or he's in his like yard doing a vlog or whatever. Sometimes he'll do it at his house. SWP, aka Sergeant Willie Pete, he did a lot of his stuff when he was driving, when he was in his car, and he had a picture. So he had a static picture because he didn't want anybody to see his face either. I have a picture of the first picture that you saw on my first video is a picture of me, but it's stylized because I'm a graphic designer and I like to do stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing something where my face is shown. Probably so. But right now, it's just easier for me to record, like having my phone in my neck while I'm pushing and running errands. So them two guys are my biggest YouTube, like them and Avenue Rants. He also does the videos with static pictures. So I'm gonna do that. And I think he stopped doing videos, man. That brother he was emotional, but that brother was a genius, and I miss him. I miss him as a YouTube blogger because he says some real stuff, and he was one of my favorite vloggers. And SARS and SWP Disciple is one of my favorite vloggers. I'm using it like them three. SWP Sarge isn't on YouTube anymore. You can find, because they kicked them off, you can find remnants of his videos on YouTube still. They did a JetX or whatever. Used to be up. I don't know if they still have it up. Last time I listened to a SWP Disciple video, because he's on Gen X too. He said it was down. So I'm using a lot of what they're doing, and I'm using a lot of what Avenue Ranch used to do. So those are my big three YouTube like influences. There's a couple of girls that I like, but there's a couple of girls that I like as far as doing YouTube vlogs or whatever, and then Tommy Sotomayor, the most hated man in YouTube, and I don't want to get trolled, but that brother's a genius because he basically told all of us to monetize our opinions. You know what I'm saying? Their YouTube account is monetized, and for a while he wasn't monetizing his stuff, but somebody hipped him to the fact that you can monetize your stuff, right? So if you see an ad, you see an ad, man. My first video only got 4 views, so I ain't got no money. And I'm not really doing this for money, but if I get popular, I get popular. I know SARS got popular for a while, and SWP Disciple has an audience, and Avenue Rants had an audience. I'm really not trying to do this to get famous, but I just vent a lot. I think a lot of us in the YouTube community, disabled or not, I think we just have stories that we want to tell, and we just have shit that we got to get off our chest. So that's what this is. And I'm also gonna try to put some shine on some things. Like I'm gonna put some shine on some couple of Facebook pages that I mentioned earlier. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like a couple of my friends are trying to do some things, and I'm gonna have some interviews with them. One in particular, he has CP2. Me and him like go back and forth, and we have these long conversations about employment and what it means to be black and disabled in this country. And I think one of these days, and I talked to him today because we now work together. He got me on at the call center gig that I'm at now. One of these days, me and him are gonna sit down. We're gonna have a formal interview, couple interviews, because he's trying to do some things. But we're gonna sit down and we're just gonna like pontificate about life, and I'm gonna record it and I'm gonna put it on YouTube. And we're gonna try to be as like G-rated as we can, because usually we go off on tangents and it turns into a big deal. But we're gonna try to be as like free form but as calm as we can. And I'm gonna put that on YouTube, and I'm gonna have a discussion. We're gonna start some discussions about some things pertaining to the disabled community, which I don't think people really want to talk about in audio form. People want to write about it, kind of, but we don't really want to talk about it. We just want to write about it and kind of see what happens. But I'm gonna try to bring it up like in a vlog form and try to have some discussions, because I think it's important. But anyway, I'm gonna chow down on this turkey pastrami wrap at 10 o'clock in the evening. But I'm gonna put this up on YouTube tomorrow at some point, or at some point soon. And I'm gonna try to do these. I'm gonna try to do these at least once or twice a week. I might not. It might be more. It might be less. It'll probably be twice a week, once or twice a week. I got a lot of stuff I gotta get off my chest, and I got a lot of ideas for this. So anyway, pushing while black out. Later, people.